We are live on YouTube for the grand debut of Tokusatsu Action. Tokusatsu Action Anime Thursday Night Titans, episode 1. Number 1.
First.
Yeah, we are talking about Gojira 1954, which is the very first Godzilla film ever made.
Yeah, you're good.
It would start a millennia of 1,000 or more Godzilla movies.
Oh, there's a load of Godzilla movies for sure.
Oh, yeah. Some good, some not so good.
Anybody want to start talking about it? Where, do you want to talk about your history with it? You guys, Anubis and Gojira, since you two are guests on our show, well, the floor is yours.
You want to go, Gojira, or you want me to go?
I'll go. Well, my first film I saw was Abra, the Horror of the Deep. I was 5. So that sealed the deal for me. 1954 holds a very special spot in my heart because it's, the one that got it all started. And an extremely ballsy move by Japan at the time because we just got done dropping bombs here. And that was their way of kind of telling us to fly a kite. And I'm pretty sure they didn't ever expect it would turn into what it did 70 years later. You know? Because the actors, the music, everything is absolutely amazing. Because Serizawa was one of the best scientists because he discovered something that he knew would be extremely dangerous. Kind of like the dude that developed the atom bomb knew it would be dangerous if used wrong. So same thing applies to the oxygen destroyer. If that ever really were to happen, we'd all be screwed if our enemies got a hold of it. But 54 is very special to me because my dad was a Godzilla fan. I didn't know that until right before he passed. But he actually was in Japan 2 weeks before it got bombed. So a fun little fact, I guess, on that one. But I've always enjoyed 1954 because it's, like I said, the one that started all. The OG, as people like to say. So, I guess you're next, my good sir.
Well, like you, I was young. I was born in 70, and I think around 75 or 76, my dad used to take me to the Saturday matinees, and the very first Godzilla film I saw was Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 74. And I fell in love with Godzilla and Kaiju at that point. And I can't remember when I actually saw 54 for the first time, but I pretty much stated all the time that I'm more of the hero/anti-hero Godzilla than I am the villain. But my heart's kind of changed a little bit more, especially when -1 came out. I mean, it's just a fantastic film, top to bottom. And but yeah, 54, man, like it's even now, like I was watching it again today just to kind of refresh and everything, and it's like it still hits you pretty hard. The way that it's shot, the storyline, the emotions involved. I really dig that a lot about that. Of course, the version I was watching was with the Raymond Burr, which is usually blasphemy when it comes to 54, but that was what I had to work with today, so that's what I went with. So yeah, basically I've been a Godzilla fan for a very long time, and like most people, I just kind of passed by 98 pretending it just never happened, you know?
Yeah, right. It never happened. It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
The cartoon that came after it was pretty good.
Yeah, that's what people are saying. I never caught that, but they said that was way better than the movie.
Oh yeah, I watched it when it was first coming out when I was a kid. It was absolutely great.
I was 10 when I saw 54 for the first time at home with my mom. I'm 45, I'm 46, so I was about 10. My mom, she was actually watching on TV. And she'd never been too much of a Godzilla fan, but she was, hey, Wes, come here, you might like this. And that was all she wrote.
I was going to say I did not start originally. So I did not start originally with Godzilla, the original. Mine. So I've got right next to me, I've got a clipboard, and I this is a article that I'll be publishing onto Kaiju United. I don't know if you guys or any of you guys are aware in here who that is. But they cover. Shout out to them, by the way. Actually, that was the planned first guest, but Jacob had plans and couldn't work it out, so I'll move him back later, maybe in November. But around, I would say I was about 5 or 6 or a little bit older. I was first introduced to Godzilla, and it was about Godzilla versus Mothra, which is, and my uncle, and this is what I'm just reading off here. He introduced me through he would cut out. So back when we had VHSs, he would cut out all like the talking scenes, all like the drama and stuff, and he would
The
just
good parts of the movie.
yeah, exactly, and he would cut it to all the action and stuff. And that was Godzilla versus Mothra has a big place still, I feel. I haven't watched it probably since I was a kid. So it's going to be fun to go back through with these three and Wesley when watching these. And, Gojira, 84. And
Wait, name, I don't care.
okay. It's going to be fun going through and watching these and talking about these because Godzilla is just like the first, alongside Power Rangers, is the first ever Toku experience for me. I don't know. Do you want to go Smalls or do you want to go Geek?
I'll let Smalls go first.
Well, let's just say when I was a small kid in the 90s, like my parents introduced me to Godzilla from like maybe the 80s, maybe the 70s version or the 60s, because I got to see a lot of the sci-fi stuff in color. But I definitely like Godzilla versus Mothra. That was probably one of the other ones my mom introduced me to so that we could watch on TV. And I'm like, wow, this is really cool.
My first Godzilla was actually not the original Gojira. It was the Raymond Burr Godzilla, which I've always enjoyed personally. But I'm biased. It was my first Godzilla ever. My dad had rented it from a video store. I think it might have been Blockbuster. I can't remember. Mm-hmm. But he rented it and watched it, and we found out at then that my dad loved Godzilla movies, and over the years we've always watched Godzilla movies. The last Godzilla movie we watched together before he passed away was Godzilla GMK. The one where they made Ghidorah a good guy for whatever reason.
Yeah,
I mean, it was a good movie, but some of the choices made were interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah. Not bad, myself, I enjoyed the movie.
I was gonna say, I myself, I don't think I've actually seen that one. So
it's pretty good. I think it's good. I'm biased. I like Godzilla movies.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like Godzilla in this group? Come on.
I was gonna say, me personally, I have been experiencing getting my feet wet with the other kaiju themed show that is Ultraman.
Ultraman is good.
Yeah.
I the only Ultraman I ever actually watched other than just clips was like that short-lived American Ultraman they did in like the 80s and 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, the Deke version of that, just so they can get back at Saban Entertainment for Power Rangers.
Yeah, he's talking about Gridman, I believe.
I'm talking about Gridman.
I like superhero samurai cyber squad. I think I got that right. Jesus, that's a fucking mouthful of a name.
It certainly is quite a bit of a mouthful.
It's like they saw Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and was like, yeah, I can't stop that.
Yeah.
I my trash in it, but
What I mean, I always think it's so hard to describe Godzilla right now because I feel like the original is like one of the weakest now. Just looking at it, and it's not a bad thing. It's just it's the start of the franchise, so you're gonna start out slow. Eventually, now, with I would say the next one, I have okay. So let me just put this out here. I myself I've seen all the new monster ones, the MonsterVerse movies, except for -1, except for Shin and others. And I mean, I have to go through my childhood. I've seen also the other one, and I can't Final Wars.
Final Wars.
I've seen that one.
Yeah,
that is epic. It's goofy as hell in some parts, but I love it.
Final Wars was amazing.
It's a top 5 film for me.
Yep,
very easily. Shin Godzilla is number 2 for me.
I love Shin Godzilla. I wish they would do like a sequel or more with that like version of Godzilla, because it was just that version of Godzilla was just so interesting.
And because he kept evolving. I saw it in the theater. I was like, "What the hell?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay."
I want to see those. I want to see the people Godzillas. I want to see those in action in some way or another.
Well, I do too. I nicknamed them Shinites. Kind of like the
Shinites. But in looking at this movie, I got to start from the beginning. It's a slow build up to the movie where you're introduced to the monster. In Gojira, because right when the music hits for the first time, hearing the Godzilla theme, that's when I think the action just picks up, and it is symbolic. It is excellent. We have to thank Haro Nakajima. Is that right? Is that Nakajima? Thank you. He's the one that, if we didn't have original suit actor and stuff for Godzilla, I don't know what we would have if he wasn't like a suit actor in the role.
I don't think we'd have anything Godzilla at all if he didn't do it.
Yeah.
But I want to step up and do it. We may not have Godzilla.
Yeah.
At least not the form of him, that version anyway.
Yeah. And I wouldn't call the first Godzilla weak. The first Godzilla, the way it's pacing and all that, it worked for that movie. If it would have been done any other way, if the pacing wasn't done just that right, I don't like Gojira said, we may still have Godzilla, but we wouldn't be as memorable as he is now.
Because they did that movie perfectly all the way through.
Yeah.
Much like -1. -1 delivered in a way I haven't seen in a very, very long time. Because it had all the elements 54 did and then some. I thought, holy Christ.
Yeah.
And
Holy moly.
I feel that both the original Godzilla, Gojira, and Godzilla -1 both had something in it that I guess you could call goofy, but it didn't throw the movie off. Like in the first movie, when Godzilla first showed up, impressive, but you gotta admit the puppet kind of looked a little derpy.
Oh, it looked a lot
when he's over the hill, and in the but like I said, it didn't throw off the movie. In the Godzilla -1, You notice that Godzilla, when he first shows up and attacks that little island base, he's grabbing people and just throwing them. He's not eating them, chewing them, or nothing. He just grabs and chucks them.
He's like, get out of my face.
And it's just, to me, it's just a wild animal is not going to grab you and then fucking shoulder toss you.
Yeah.
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 But like it doesn't take away from the rest of the movie because I mean, giant aggressive, not T-Rex ripping the shit out of people.
Well, maybe they were treating it like they did in '98, where he just likes tuna and nothing else.
Yeah.
Yum, 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 yum.
Yeah.
Hey, near the end, he did try to eat Ferris Bueller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Godzilla was a bad movie, but the cartoon series that
Was fire.
that cartoon was the best thing to watch on a Saturday morning.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, this actually takes out the sting on how bad that Ferris Bueller movie was.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, if we didn't have the bad movie, we wouldn't have gotten the good cartoon.
Yeah, and after that we got Godzilla 2000, and that's another one I really like.
Godzilla 2000 is a good movie. Because the old one is the badass.
Though I've seen a lot of stories. I don't know if they're true or not. That the director for Godzilla 2000 designed the Godzilla suit a little bit after his cat. Like I said, it's probably just bullshit rumor or just memes or something. But
Well, it's not uncommon for people, like even for me and my partner, my wife, Neko, we always say that there's some Godzilla looks that look very much like cat. Even the mannerisms are very much like cats. And even look at Empire. I mean, he's sleeping inside the Coliseum like a cat.
Yeah.
It's like his,
I was gonna say,
Jesus.
Smalls has not seen that one, by the way. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Neither have I. I
new
haven't
one.
seen the new American Godzilla yet. But I always thought that the Godzilla from like in the 60s and 70s, where he was defender of the earth kind of stuff, his face kind of looked dog-like. I mean, he had that little pug nose and shit. He could have been like a little boxer or a French bulldog.
Yeah, and then there's that old Hanna-Barbera cartoon of Godzilla that I really like watching.
Oh,
Cartoon Network. Now it's not even on.
Oh
yeah, Godzuki. Everybody hates Godzuki.
Oh, I love Godzuki. Godzuki.
Godzuki.
Yeah.
I grew up with that one as a kid.
Me too.
I'll be honest. I had a choice between Godzuki and Scrappy. I'd take Godzuki, and yeah.
Yeah, I think I was watching that Battle of the Planets and Johnny Quest. They were all around the same time. So.
Oh yeah.
I never actually saw Battle of the Planets, but I remember about late '90s Cartoon Network kind of redid it, but they did it as a cartoon called G-Force. It was basically Battle of the Planet, but
good show.
I love that show.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, not to mess anything up with this discussion, but that G-Force did inspire one of the Sentais.
Yes. Wasn't it Jetman?
Yes.
Maybe. It's high kicks.
Come
on. No. Okay.
But I mean, I'll take back what I said. It's weak because now thinking about it, what you guys have said, yes, it's a slower pace than the others.
Well, the only thing that hurts 54 is it's dated. So
yeah, that's what
I think Goji 84 kind of hit it on the head. Is like you look at -1. If we were to do 54 today, it'd probably look a lot like -1 because of the technology, the CGI, and all that. So
-1's roar is actually an amped up version of 54's roar.
Yeah, Yeah.
They just turned up the speakers and distorted it a little bit more. So it's 54's roar, but just more amped up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, and I remember a story my aunt once told me that she used to see Godzilla as a very scary movie when she was a kid.
Well, it was supposed to be.
It was.
Originally.
Yeah, that's one story I remember very well.
I was gonna say, Brony. I don't know if you guys saw the comment. He liked the recent one. That's his favorite.
Yeah, I did see the comment.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I didn't see the comments. I was in full screen, which for some reason wasn't letting me see the comments.
Yeah, you can. Sorry, I was trying to see which layout looks better. Does it look better in full or, in
I
way.
like the full, but if I'm going to see comments, I'm going to turn it off.
Yeah.
But getting back to the discussion, if you want to talk weak films, I mean, I enjoyed this film as a kid, but Godzilla versus Megalon, the Godzilla suit looked like it been used a little too much, and let's not even begin about the choreography on some of the fight scenes.
Him sliding, like gliding down, and kicking the shit out of him, drop kicking him, and say, "Okay."
I mean, yeah, as a kid, that was like, it's cool, but as an adult, it's like, I mean,
you look at it now, it's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you had Godzilla doing crazy stuff all the time. When, like, what was it, Monster X? He's jumping up and down, doing this thing,
and
then
Godzilla,
what was it?
Godzilla versus Hedorah, he's fucking flying.
Yeah, it's his breath.
Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, one of the two, he uses lightning to turn himself into a magnet.
Yep.
Yeah, it's 1974. I was like, what the shit? I was like, okay, whatever works.
I mean, that was the decade of cocaine.
You got a lot of that in Ghidorah. I was like, oh my god, I'd love to do this high or something. Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to make a Godzilla movie right now.
Yeah,
I think-
exactly.
I think this is the best way to watch the. Sorry if I can get this in focus there.
Yeah.
Ooh,
This is the Criterion Collection.
Yeah.
It's the best way to watch. It is all the Showa movies. Now there's word around, and that they are doing a maybe possibly Heisei series.
that'd be cool.
So,
I love the Heisei series. Godzilla versus Biollante will be one of my top five Heisei movies. Though I think about, there wasn't more than 5 Heisei movies to begin with, wasn't there?
I know Heisei was 84 and ended with Godzilla versus Destroyer.
Yeah.
So I think it was in the 5.
See,
Okay.
Godzilla versus Biollante came after 85, and then there was Godzilla versus the one where he fought Mothra and Batra.
Batra.
Yeah. And Biollante.
Yeah, I mentioned Biollante. Okay.
Biollante.
Yeah. We start off with 2 because we know that 85 ends with Destroyer. Biollante, Mothra, Space Godzilla. Okay, yeah, there was more than 5. Because I was like, was there more than 5? Yeah, because I can still think of let's go on. I'm sorry.
Sounds about like 7. I'm counting.
Yeah, I'm on the internet. Why don't I just look this up?
Yeah. Right.
Oh yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah.
We all do that.
Of course, I gotta say, the
7.
other Godzilla movies I do like is probably Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla and Space Godzilla in that order.
Yeah.
Okay, the original Mechagodzilla or the Heisei ones?
I I think a little bit of the later ones because I liked Mechagodzilla with actually a face rather than a nose drill. If anybody can name that one, because
that was
I
Gojira.
definitely see the parallels. I'm like, is this a Mechagodzilla or is it just a battle suit with a drill for a nose?
It was you're talking about Gojira. Gojira actually was from another Japanese movie. I think in that one he was like an alien or something.
Gojira? Never heard of that one.
Mecha Gojira was what I was looking at because the military actually got in and suited up for that one.
Yeah.
I know. I think I know what you're talking about. Mecha God. Oh, go ahead.
Well, they've done different iterations. They've had there was 2 Heisei Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 1 and 2, where Mechagodzilla was taken and used against Godzilla from the Earthlings. They even did that with King Ghidorah as well, Mechagodzilla and stuff like that.
Yeah. That was the Heisei. The Heisei. Oh, the Heisei was weird because I remember how they started the stuff with Mechagodzilla was first was where he fought King Ghidorah, who was made from 3 creatures that were genetically modified from the future, brought to the past. You know what? We could turn a whole episode of this show just into talking about the madness that is those 2 movies in the Heisei series.
The Spaceman, running in slow-mo.
Oh my God! Yes. the early 2000s CGI.
Are you serious? That was the funny part. Was like, are you serious? He looked like the Terminator, but a really jacked up Terminator.
Because it's such a tonal shift. Because 85 and Biollante were such just straight serious movies, and it was that's what really made them good for me. And then you get Godzilla versus Ghidorah, and it's like I said, total tonal shift. Like you mentioned, the Terminator chasing the car.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is this? I'm like, okay, whatever works, I guess.
Yeah, and apparently for all the white people they used in the that Godzilla movie, they hired Mormon missionaries.
That's why I'm kind of hoping that if Yamazaki gets another go at another movie outside -1, I hope he does Biollante, because the stuff with the Noriko at the end, that kind of plays into the possibility. That
I've seen that rumor too, and I'd love to see a more modern reimagining of Biollante. I mean, not that Biollante is that old. I mean, yeah, I know. I keep getting. I'm in my 40s, but it's not that old.
Hey, I'm 54. I'm 54. I'm the oldest guy here, so.
I'm kind
of not gonna deny you there.
I was gonna say I'm kind of dreading this next Godzilla because of the news that I've heard that it's not with the same director as the previous 2. So I'm kind of
up and down.
I'm kind of jittery and stuff now, hearing about an unknown director. I mean, I get the previous director that did Godzilla versus Kong, and I believe there were only 2 he's directed. The guy after Wingard, I can't think of his name right now.
I'm nervous for that one, Nick. Okay, let's stick with Adam Wingard, please. He knows his shit. He's good.
Oh, yeah. Or one thing I would like, and I don't want to spoil this much, but I would like them to explore more of the monsters that we are introduced in Godzilla King of the Monsters.
I agree.
Yeah.
I've been chomping at the bit forever, man. They need origin stories for Ghidorah, Rodan, and Mothra. They need it.
Oh yeah. Because I need more intel about Mothra, because I know Mothra needs the twins in order to be manifested into the world.
Yeah, because considering Mothra got obliterated in King of the Monsters.
Yes, she did. Pretty quickly.
That's usually what happens in Mothra. Mothra's there to get the crap beat out of so Godzilla and or Rodan can look heroic. Because that's how those movies went. Godzilla, anyone fighting Godzilla was the bad guy, and Godzilla was the hero.
Mhm.
Not like so overtly the hero like fucking Gamera was. Oh, I love those movies.
Uh-huh.
Well, wait till you see Godzilla X Con.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've heard about Godzilla doing the wrestling moves, and I am down for that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Godzilla X Con's fun. I went into it a little bit concerned, but came out of it loving it. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've heard a lot of reviews. People are a little bit nervous about going and seeing it, but then they come out and say it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
I'm
My
crazy.
daughter
I'll give it a shot once.
Godzilla King of the Monsters up in Washington with my father-in-law. My daughter and her girlfriend were so upset that Mothra died. I was like, I thought you didn't like Godzilla movies. She goes, shut the hell up, Dad. So that's how it starts, baby girl. That's how it starts.
And I'm like, look at Mothra's film history. Mothra dies in the majority of her movies. If she doesn't, she's still not showing up in the next one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and considering Mothra did die in Final Wars. And of course, it's cool when Mothra and Godzilla are actually allies fighting on the same side.
Wait,
But-
Mothra did die in Final War. She kamikazed Gigan.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And that was
she
probably
on
the
fire.
best death I've ever seen too. Like she was
that-
totally
that-
on
that
fire.
was
Supercharged and everything.
Yeah.
Kamikaze beef.
Yeah, laters.
Mm-hmm.
I just watched Rebirth of Mothra last night. That was a
That was a
decent one.
good movie. I liked that entire series. It was clearly, aimed for, young kids, but I still enjoyed the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they are. Just like
I-
a lot of the Gamera movies.
The one thing I will say I liked about the original also is the effects, the special effects. It's been since ever since I would say it was a okay. So let me go back way before Godzilla because they had this show, and this is what started the Tokusatsu terminology. Is a show that was called. It was common something. I can't think of the name of it, but it was a black and white, and it's like Kamen Rider. If you've ever seen Kamen Rider, I don't know if you've ever. Really great franchise.
Kamen Rider.
Yeah. But it was like Kamen Rider because he's this black white character in this costume, and he's fighting these bad guys always. And it's I can think I've seen it before. I just can't think of the full name of it right now. But it started the craze for the Toku. Uh-oh.
Oh, we lost Gojira.
Oh no.
I'll probably come back.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah,
Hopefully. I was liking to look at his kitty cat.
I'm guarantee if I had a camera, my cats would probably be more active.
Did Tokusatsu freeze up? Yeah, he looks like he froze up.
Yeah, I'm here. It's just
Your picture, yeah, okay. So you're
Yeah,
still there.
explosive werewolf kind of froze up there.
oh boy.
Yay! I'm not the only one with a static avatar now.
Yeah, it'll come back.
But yeah, I agree. Even the weak one, like I mentioned, like the Godzilla versus Ghidorah and the Heisei, and the Godzilla versus Megalon, and the show where the stories may have been kind of questionable.
There we
and
go.
I mentioned the wear and tear on the Godzilla suit, but special effects wise, both of them were still solid movies. And minus the aforementioned 2000 CGI, Terminator scenes.
Mhm.
But that was due more to just the time and technology.
Yep.
And
That
not
acts
only
like
that,
one.
I'm never going to forget about that one scene in Pee-wee's Big Adventure where they were recording Godzilla on set.
Yeah, recording a Godzilla movie in a studio in California, I think it was.
That was probably the highlight besides the clown part of the whole movie. But yeah, I was like,
I
Oh,
thought the Twisted Sister
his phone
part was pretty cool.
overheated. That's what happened.
oh boy.
I can sympathize with that.
He's
That'll happen
in-
when I'm on the way to work.
He's in the hot heat of Florida, so
Oh, he's got the wet
That
heat.
will definitely happen.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
dealing with the hot heat of Nevada.
Uh-huh.
Oh boy.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it's a moist heat, right? And I'm suffering through a moist heat, and it's usually a dry heat.
It's moist heat over here, but it's actually very cool in my state, so I ain't complaining.
Uh-huh.
I got the air conditioning on 74, so it's pleasant in the house, but every time I step on the porch for a smoke break, you know, it's like, oh, it's hot.
Oh my god, it's hot. Mm.
I think I really like the atomic breath. I think that's what is it. Atomic breath was introduced in the original. That was a really
Yeah.
cool effect. Now I watched it with the black and white version, so it's hard to make out in the original black and white version. I believe it's like you just see this white line. And it's like, what the heck is this? Is this so and so? Is this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They did
Mhm.
with the technology that they had.
Mm-hmm.
And the breath weapon has evolved over the years. Like you said, the original, it just looked like a little white, almost rotoscope line. And as it got on, it got better and better. And then we got the blue fiery beam, and then eventually the orange and yellow Corona beam, and now all the different fucking beams. It's like almost like Dragon Ball Z here.
Yeah.
Kamehameha and Gallop Gun.
And we were talking about the Mothra movies. The Mothra movies almost reminded me of like a Dragon Ball Z episode, because it's like the start of the movie, they'd introduce a new monster. The new monster would beat the tar out of Mothra. Then Mothra would have to go someplace, get a new power up, and come back and kill the monster. I mean, that's Dragon Ball Z. Frieza shows up, beats everybody up. Goku goes Super Saiyan. Now he beats a Frieza. Rinse and repeat.
Symbolic anime.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind Godzilla. Well, they've had a couple Godzilla animes.
Brony did mention earlier a current ongoing anime also called Kaiju number 8.
Yeah, I keep meaning to look that up, but I'm forgetful AF.
Mm-hmm.
I hear you.
Definitely.
I mean, I really do enjoy the original. It's just you have to have the mood, the mindset, the time, everything, you know, to sit down and just digest it all. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it is that, but you know, again, like it's no one's fault, but because technology is so much better now, like one thing that I love about King of the Monsters is I got to see Ghidorah, Rodan, and Mothra, and you know, of course, Godzilla all move fluently. Like there's no strings, there's no bodysuits, and there's nothing wrong with that, because you know it worked for its time. But to see these creatures like come alive like they did is awesome. Like I really, really enjoy that.
Yeah,
All the little things that Ghidorah's different heads were doing. It looks like it should look when you're watching like a monster film.
Yeah, Ghidorah was done really, really well. The visual choices they made for that movie and some of those monsters are really, really good. I'll put it this way: I love Mothra, and normally I'm cool with them on a screen, but I'm actually phobic of moths. And the Mothra was done well enough that there was a part of me that was like, I don't want to be watching this right now. But it's a Godzilla movie, moth.
Right. And of course, it'd be kind of interesting if Godzilla fought the cast of Primal Rage for that game.
Yeah.
Did everybody leave? It's
No,
just,
I put layout. I can change the layout. That's what I did.
So
Oh,
it's
you-
just mostly on him for now.
No, right there. There we go.
Yes,
That's
the star
everybody.
of the show.
Okay. So he just wants to be the top dog.
No, I'm joking. Of course, I'm joking.
I'm messing with you.
I know. Yeah. I think it's got to be. I think it's in my top 5 or 10 Godzilla movies. That
Which
I
one?
love.
54?
Yes.
Hmm.
Just because of everything that it stands by, it goes for. I mean,
Yeah, I think for me, like it's last time I did a list, it was number 10. Obviously a lot of other stuff that's ahead of it are like nostalgia purposes, or like I said, just because technology is a little bit better now. Like -1 is number 5 for me. So
The original is the top for me, but I'm biased because, like I said, the original was my first.
mhm.
It was the American version with Raymond Burr, true, but except if you take out Raymond Burr in his scenes, it's still the same movie.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, no. Just some people get really bent out of shape about it. I mean, I don't. I'm like you. I enjoy the Burr one. It's fine. It was their way to kind of appeal to American audiences when they released it. So
you get people butthurt about that stuff all the time, and it's like, why? There are so many things you can actually get really mad about. Why are you mad at decisions made about movies before your dad was probably even born?
yeah,
On some of these kids, at least.
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm.
Go on.
I lost my train of thought. No.
That happens.
I have a tendency to do that sometimes.
what did you guys think about the? Well, I guess can't all because not everybody's seen -1, but for the ones that had, what do you feel about the contrast, the storylines between 54 and -1?
Haven't seen
Because
it, so.
even though they're kind of close, they are different.
I enjoyed them. This was one of the few Godzilla movies where the human story didn't feel like it was just there to pad out the runtime, or to explain, what's how we get from point A to point B. They're just to move the story along, but other than that, they're not important. This, I was actually more in some points more interested in what the humans were doing than I was about when Godzilla showed up. Those,
Mhm.
still love those parts, of course.
Yeah.
It set the bar to me for future Godzilla movies. I think it affects Ultraman in a way because it's from the same creator of Sabraya, I believe. Gojira is. Because I have looked through older Ultraman and modern day stuff, and I see suits like Godzilla and Ultraman. And I'm like, you've got ideas for possible future Godzilla movies that you could translate or you could carry over into Godzilla or Ultraman stuff.
I think one of the original Ultraman monsters was just an old Godzilla suit that they just put like a frill on.
Ultra Q.
Oh, that was Ultra Q?
I think it is Gomez or something. Gomes, something like that.
Yeah.
We'll get to Ultraman and all that cool stuff at some point for sure. I mean, because this is just the first movie we're talking about here.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, it was Ultraman. The monster was called Gyrus.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to. While you keep on talking about it, because I'm gonna have to look up a picture for it.
Let's see. Let me pull up the wiki of it. I found.
By the way, never mind. Okay, Geras Ultraman. Okay, I see what you're talking about. I see a picture.
Yeah, that's just Godzilla with a frill.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the earlier suit. Oh God! Looking at some of the gifts for it. Wow, yeah, that's. I wonder how that came about. Like, it's just looking at it. It's just fascinating to see. And that looks like that's the only time that suit. No, wait, no. It looks like there's. Oh,
I'll have to find out what episode it is because I'm on almost done with disc 1, episode 10. Okay, I haven't gotten there yet. He's been in more than that. Looks like though.
oh yeah.
The suit.
Oh, interesting.
But
I'll actually have to sit down and watch at some point.
yeah, I was gonna say I like how Godzilla stuff has carried over into Ultraman, into Kamen Rider probably at some point. Ideas, monsters, whatever. I'm sure Showa Kamen Rider stuff, maybe some ideas, maybe a little bit of the suits. Sentai probably as well.
I know the original Kamen Rider did a crossover with Ultraman. I think that was just a manga. Was that a manga or was that actually a recorded
It's
TV?
a little movie, little short. It's called Ultraman versus Kamen Rider versus Ultraman, or Ultraman versus Kamen Rider. One of the two. It is for sure called.
Yeah, the one where it says versus, but in the movie they actually team up rather than fight.
I think it's something we could check out at some point.
Plans to do in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So now on with the what were we talking about besides Godzilla? I'm just trying to get the conversation going, and my brain's running.
You're good. You're good. You're good. We were talking Ultraman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking Ultraman and how it has carried over into Godzilla. I mean, probably from the first movie. But like I was saying, the Gomez suit, I see Godzilla in that as well. You would have to look up a picture of what I'm talking about, but that's the very first Ultra Q monster, by the way, in case you're wondering who that is.
Gomez, Gome, like go and mess.
Yes.
Oh, I see it. The guy with the curved horn on the head.
Uh-huh.
Actually, almost looks like the I forget the creature's name, but it's from Attack of the Monsters, with the really dumb one with the kid that fantasizes about Taco Manila.
Oh God.
The bully creature.
Yeah, you say you want to forget about Godzilla 98. I will take Godzilla 98 over that hot mess.
Yeah, actually, when we rated our Godzilla films, I had to actually sacrifice and put 98 above that one because it was just god awful.
Yeah, because it's like, though realistically, when you talk about those two movies, it's like, okay, do I like getting punched in the face, or do I like getting kicked in the face? You're still getting struck in the face.
What I was saying also, though, I think Godzilla 54, Gojira 54, sorry, I think it paved the way for Ultraman and the inspiration for the character and the kaijus and the monsters.
And the Monster of the Day episodes on a weekly
for a lot of
basis.
stuff. Yeah.
A lot of Toku. Especially, because the reason why I say that, because 1966, January 66 is when
July 17th,
would
1966 was the first
Ultra Q.
episode of Ultraman.
Ultraman, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but Ultra Q was the inspiration for Ultraman.
Yeah,
I have some interesting thoughts on that. I'll save those for whenever we get to that stuff.
of course. And then Battle Fever kind of just started a genre itself.
I don't know if you've seen that, Geek. Do you know what he's talking about? Have you ever seen that? It's interesting. I'll just say that.
What series was that again?
Smalls was just small. Sorry, Smalls just said Battle Fever started its own franchise, basically.
Well, Sentai, yes.
Yeah.
Battle wasn't Battle Fever the one where where they all had their costumes were themed on where they were from?
Yeah.
Actually, that wasn't the first series. There was one before that, Jakku.
Oh yeah, can't forget about Jakku.
Yeah, especially
Ace, King, Queen, Jack.
Yep, and I especially since they were the first to do the combine. They combine a weapon, but unlike later series where it's like, my sword and axe and stuff can become a gun. They literally each ranger had a piece of a freaking black powder cannon. It's like, why would you have that in pieces like that? Just roll that sucker out.
Yeah. That might be coming off a little bit off topic, maybe, and that's probably my fault.
We started with Godzilla, and now we're at Ultraman. This is the stuff I live for.
Yeah.
The
effects for Godzilla are one thing that from the original I love. And I like how even you see this killer weapon that Serizawa makes, and it's really creative, it's cool, it's unique. I mean, you have Beauty, which is like, it's oh my gosh, I'm putting a Disney movie now in my head compared to Godzilla, but but I mean, you have this really cool oxygen destroyer weapon, and the rest is history with what it does.
And of course, I was thinking about Power Rangers on my brain, but thinking about Dairanger and what was used in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was that cannon. That cannon wasn't the original power weapons that they used, but instead, I'm like, that looks like a cannon, but it's not the same one that they used in the first season from Shoot Ranger.
Yeah. I wish they'd let them change out the suits, because the Dairanger suits were just awesome. I mean, they had to change some stuff because the theme of Dairanger and such was completely different. Sorry,
Brony, just what Brony said in the chat. He's saying a lot of people did crush on Kimberly.
I actually follow the actress who plays her on TikTok.
And
just to do the nerd thing, she's responded to some of my comments in her videos. Yay!
Oh yeah, she's done that with me on YouTube, which that was cool. Yeah, a legitimate question.
I hope I have a legitimate answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it turns out the Pink Ranger hasn't really remembered a whole lot of ASL. Because that was the episode of a different drum or a different tune. And that was Gnarly Gnome's episode.
I was going to say another thing that I loved about the Criterion collection is we have really cool artwork in each page. It is devoted, like this is the
Reign of Destruction.
That's what they thought of probably when they came up with the idea. And then here's the original. I don't know.
Yes, I agree with you, Brony. That looks sick as shit. I'm gonna have to see if I can find that on eBay or Amazon or something.
There's the original Godzilla design.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, this is a really cool book. I'm sorry, it looks like a book, but it's a Blu-ray set. I don't know if any of you own it, but
No, I don't.
I don't have
It
it.
is a must pick up if you are a Godzilla fan.
I mean, if you want to mail it to me, you can.
Hey, if you won't mail it to him, you can mail it to me. I'll probably take good care of it.
Oh, I think Wolf wants to keep his Blu-ray set.
Yeah, I mean, I can always just get them on Vudu, the Godzilla movies, anyway, and watch them.
Man,
I
right.
I was gonna say on Vudu they do not have Biollante on there at all. And I believe it is a Pluto TV exclusive. I was reading about it earlier, I think, and it said Pluto TV. It was an exclusive, so it was a right exclusive or something. And they've also, I was going to say, Tokusatsu on YouTube. They have been covering Godzilla, Gamera, which is another franchise all of its own. I gotta say, Gamera is a really cool character. I don't know if you've seen any of them, Smalls, but if you haven't and you like this first Godzilla film, you're in for a treat. I'll just say that.
Oh, the original, the Gamera movies were great, especially when he started becoming the freaking hero of children. Stick he ran for the later part of his a series.
Well, the Rebirth, the animation on Netflix is amazing. I love that.
I've been meaning to watch that, and the Heisei Gamera movies, the Gamera trilogy. Those are some absolutely amazing movies.
Yeah, he looks really dope in that series.
Oh yeah,
I have to get it. I have to watch the only one I've seen of Gamera is the original.
Oh wow.
The black and white one where he was awakened from a
nuclear
ice.
Awakened from the ice from a nuclear explosion.
Yeah.
Yes, where he ate fire in all. He's fire in all his incarnations. I always thought that was interesting. It's not the fuel he eats from the fire; it's the literal flames. Like in the Heisei series, it made sense because it was more of a mystical turtles kind of deal he had. But in like the Showa series, where he was just an animal, it made no sense that he eats fire. What kind of nutritional value do you get from that shit?
He needs it feels like he can fly around.
Yes, I thought of that shit when I was a kid. I was a weird kid at that time.
I wouldn't say you're weird.
I would. I was a weird kid and I'm a weird adult.
We're all weird.
Nothing wrong with being random.
Yeah.
Nope. We call it being unique.
Oh yeah, special and unique, but I wouldn't say like special needs or special ed.
No.
I wasn't.
None of that.
I was in special ed for a little bit.
That's weird. I was just looking on the Vudu site over here on my phone, and I was like looking at it. They don't have hardly any of the Gamera movies on there to buy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
They're hard to find. I think most of the ones that were released in America are out of print.
Gamera 2, Gamera 3 are the only two I've found so far on there.
And speaking of which, in Dragon Ball, there's actually a reference where Roshi uses little Gamera because since he didn't have the flying Nimbus anymore, he had to use little Gamera.
Yeah, I remember that. That was he only ever used the one episode too. You never see the little Gamera after that.
Yeah, because Roshi found out other ways of actually traveling other than little Gamera.
Yeah, I guess sitting on a turtle that spins as it flies would lose its appeal after the first few hundred rotations.
Well, yeah. I mean, Roshi literally yacked after he got after that turbulent ride. Ouch!
I'm getting ready to wrap this up because I know it's been an hour. It just ticked an hour on the thing.
Yeah.
So.
We got yeah.
What?
We do what we got to do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how long you want to do these. I mean, it's up to you guys as well.
We were talking about doing a couple hours, but if you got to go sooner.
I don't have anything to do today. I have stuff to do tomorrow afternoon, but it's way,
Well, I do got to run, unfortunately, but I appreciate you guys taking the time to have me on. It's been a lot of fun.
It was a pleasure having us.
Had a good time.
I've been talking to the guys about on Discord, these two and Wesley, who was with us earlier, and I was talking to them about in November with Godzilla having an anniversary. I believe it's 70 years this year.
Yeah.
We are going to have an anniversary show.
Cool.
And it is going to be over the Godzilla vs. Mothra. If you want to come back on, then
time. Hit me up.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll be down. Not like I got anywhere else to be.
You got a job to be as a guest on this show. There you go. Or as a panelist.
Geek's like, where's my paycheck? Where's my paycheck?
Yeah.
You guys are getting paid?
Right.
Whoa.
Now, in all seriousness, no, I really love the music. The music is the best thing about this movie, I think, and the effects.
Agreed.
For the Godzilla versus Mothra?
No, for the original.
Oh,
what do you? Okay, sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
What are your closing thoughts about this movie? Just to wrap it all up, this review / discussion breakdown, whatever.
Pretty much everyone said and everything I would want. Love the music stuff, but for me, what I always remember about the movie is just the time I spent with my dad. Just enjoying the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I think is great about the Godzilla that Godzilla movie and the Godzilla series in its entirety, of just bringing together people to who just want to hang out and just enjoy a good movie. I might not be saying that very well, but I'm not the best with words.
Right.
Smalls, do you want to go? I'm gonna go last.
Well, I definitely like the series as Godzilla and all the other stuff because I like Sentai and I like Power Rangers, that's for sure. And Godzilla brought in a lot of great joys, like the cartoon from that included Godzuki, even though a lot of the fan base hated Godzuki. But
it sounded like you didn't. There's 2 franchises you didn't mention, Smalls, and I'm sure. Well, actually 3, but one you probably Kamen Rider.
Kamen Rider is definitely good, and then there's also Gridman and
Ultra, and the Ultra franchise.
Gridman is basically Internet Ultraman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good times.
Metal Heroes is the third.
Metal Heroes.
Which became Beetleborgs in America. God, that was a different series in Japan.
That was quite a trip to go through.
Yeah, in Japan, they're power armored cops. In America, They're kids who make a wish on a Jay Leno ghost genie.
Yep, the mind of Saban, and I swear he must have been smoking something.
I want whatever he's smoking because that is some primo shit.
It has to be the good stuff.
It's the great stuff. But
Do you want to go next, Anubis? Get your final thoughts on this?
So the final thoughts is obviously the legacy of 54 is always going to be there because it was, even though you had King Kong and stuff like that from America, Godzilla kind of just took everything to a whole nother level and influenced so much that we see today, whether it's Gamera or Ultraman or even just the stuff that's come out with America's actually taking the MonsterVerse a whole new level with the Monarch series and everything. So I love that. That influenced so much to the point that now we are like Hollywood and as fans, we're like expecting more and more and we're getting more and more, which is great. So I don't know what the MonsterVerse has next, but I'm not going to be hating it because the more kaiju and Godzilla stuff we get, the happier I'm going to be. That's basically what it comes down to. And it all comes back down to 54 and what it influenced for kaiju movies and monster movies in general. So
okay, so my final thoughts are Godzilla, it introduced the world of monsters, I think, because after the Godzilla stuff, we had the Ray Harryhausen, a lot of that stuff from that era.
Stop motion,
yeah. And it paved the way for toku animes. We had early animes back, I believe.
Oh yeah, Gigantor. That was in black and white.
Yeah, okay. I've never seen it. But I feel like it paved the way for the toku anime movies of that generation. It started a franchise that is ongoing to this day and is still popular. I feel like it's become more popular in the West and also more popular in the land of the rising sun, Japan. It's something children probably are learning about in schools, and I don't know their cultures and all that, but that's just what I'm predicting and also the music is the best. The music, the effects, everything is the best thing about the show, I would say. This movie. The story is hit or miss at times, and that's just me thinking that. And yeah, but it's been Tokusatsu Action Anime Land Episode 1. Signing out.
Catch you next time.
Peace.